Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of English with Aziza. Today, we are going to talk about participation in discussions. How to participate in discussions without feeling nervous. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever been in a discussion where you had something to say, but you did not say it? Maybe the discussion was in the classroom, maybe it was during a meeting at work, maybe it was a group discussion, or maybe you were simply talking to a few people. You had an idea, you had an opinion, you even knew what you wanted to say, but somehow you stayed quiet. You stayed silent. And then something frustrating happened. A few minutes later, somebody else said exactly what you were thinking. And suddenly you found yourself saying something like, "My gosh, I was going to say that." If you have experienced this before, you are definitely not alone. Many people struggle with participating in discussions. And interestingly, the problem is not usually a lack of ideas. It is not because they don't know enough English. And it is not because they have nothing valuable to contribute. Most of the time, the problem is nervousness. It is overthinking. It is thinking too much about how you sound instead of focusing on what you want to communicate. And the longer you stay quiet, the harder it becomes to join the discussion. Because now you are not only thinking about your idea, you are thinking about the perfect way to say it. And while you are trying to create the perfect sentence, the conversation moves on and on. Personally speaking, one thing that changed my perspective on discussion is realizing that most people are not judging me as much as I think. When we are nervous, we imagine that everyone is paying attention to every mistake, every grammar error, every pronunciation mistake. But in reality, people are usually focused on themselves. They are thinking about their own ideas. They are thinking about their own opinions. They are thinking about their own responses. Most people are not actually sitting there waiting for you to make a mistake. And once you understand that, speaking becomes a little easier. Another important thing I would like to share is this. You really need to stop trying to enter the discussion perfectly. What does that mean? Many people actually think they need to make a brilliant comment. They need to make a smart observation, or maybe they need to make a perfect sentence. But discussions don't work that way. You don't need to say something amazing. You just need to participate. Sometimes contributing a simple thought is enough. Sometimes asking a question is enough. Sometimes agreeing with someone and adding one extra idea is actually enough. So the goal is not to impress people. The goal is actually to become part of the conversation. One reason many people actually feel nervous is because they wait too long. They listen, they think, they wait, they analyze, and then they continue waiting. The longer you wait, the more pressure you create. So, a useful habit is speaking earlier. Not necessarily speaking more, just speak, really. Even if it's a short comment, even if it is one sentence. Because once you have spoken, your confidence usually increases. The second comment becomes easier. The third becomes easier. And before you know it, you are participating naturally. Another thing that helps is focusing on the discussion instead of yourself. What does that mean? I know this sounds really simple, but trust me, it is really powerful. Seriously, instead of focusing on yourself, try to focus on the discussion. Basically, when you are nervous, your attention is completely on yourself. Really, you are thinking, you are minding your own thoughts and stuff like that. And you sometimes start asking yourself questions like, how do I sound? Am I making mistakes? Do I sound intelligent? Do I sound confident? But the thing is that confident speakers don't actually focus on themselves. They focus on the discussion. They don't actually care about the way they sound, about the mistakes they make, about the grammatical errors. They don't actually care. They only care about the discussion. They only care about the comments they contribute or the comments they share. They only care about the ideas they share with the others. These are the things they care about. They care about the discussion. And you need to do the same. I know it sounds easy, but trust me, you need to try. Really, try. It will not actually harm you if you try. Just try and you will see it yourself. Try once, twice, three times, and then it becomes easy. Really, just try. All right? Because, as I said, confident speakers focus on the discussion itself. They are listening, they are curious, they are interested in the topic, they are trying to understand other people. And because their attention is outward instead of inward, they become less nervous. Really. So, if you want to become less nervous, what you need to do, focus on the discussion instead of focusing on yourself. One thing I would like to share is this. Something I have actually noticed is that people often confuse confidence with having no fear. But confidence doesn't mean you are never nervous. Most confident speakers still feel nervous sometimes. But the difference is that they speak anyway. They speak whether they are nervous or not. They speak. They don't wait until fear disappears because fear will never disappear. This is the hard truth. Fear will never disappear. So, what you need to do, you need to speak. This is the only solution. You need to speak. You need to take the action. Really, take action while the fear is still there. And that's what gradually builds confidence. So every time you have some fear, do it. Take the risk. Take the risk no matter how scared you are. This is actually the key to succeed, not only in discussions, not only in presentations, basically in everything. Everything in life needs you to take the risk. So if you want to become more comfortable in discussions, you need to start practicing in low pressure situations. You don't need to wait for an important meeting. You don't need to wait for a presentation. You need to start with everyday conversations. Share your opinions more often. Ask questions. Join discussions with friends. Comment during online classes. Maybe practice, express ideas regularly because a discussion is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. And the truth is, your ideas matter more than you think. Really. Your ideas matter more than you think. Many people actually stay silent because they believe they have nothing valuable to say. But every discussion benefits from different perspectives, different experiences, from different opinions. And if you never share yours, people never get the chance to hear it. So the next time you are in a discussion, don't focus on being perfect. Don't focus on sounding impressive. Don't focus on finding the perfect sentence. You need to focus on contributing, focus on participating, focus on sharing even one idea, even one question, sharing even one opinion. Because confidence doesn't come from watching discussions, confidence actually comes from joining the discussion, not watching. If you simply attend discussions and watch, you will never have confidence in speaking. So, what you need to do, you need to speak even one sentence. You can ask even one question. And trust me, nobody will laugh at you. Nobody will judge you. Why? Because everyone is worrying about their own. Everyone is thinking about their own questions, their own opinions, um, their own stuff, and nobody is actually thinking about how you sound or how you pronounce and things like that. And let's say, for example, you make some mistakes in pronunciations, or maybe you make some grammar errors. Well, so what? You are. It's okay actually to make mistakes. It's okay to have some pronunciation mistakes. It's okay. What will happen? I mean, seriously, what will happen? Like, will they laugh at you? Okay, fine. They want to laugh? Let them laugh. They will not actually laugh forever. Maybe they will laugh for once, twice, but you continue. This is the thing, actually. And this is the smart action. You need to continue no matter how hard it is. Seriously, you need to continue. And really, every time you speak, you teach yourself something important, which is you are teaching yourself that you can do it. Every time you take action, you are teaching yourself that you are able to take that action. And that's where real confidence begins. All right? So, seriously, this is the thing. You need to teach yourself one thing, that you are able to do it. If you have a discussion, you need to convince yourself that you are able to contribute in the discussion. If you have a presentation, you need to convince yourself that you're able to present perfectly well. And even if you make mistakes, that's okay. Really, that's okay. Don't worry about the mistakes. Mistakes teach us something. So, seriously, you need to try. And I am very confident that you will succeed. Because the only one thing that you need to do is trying. You don't need to formulate perfect sentences. You don't need that. Just one sentence. One sentence is enough. One sentence for today will lead you to have full of sentences, really. So, yeah, this is basically everything that I thought of sharing about today's episode. I really hope today's episode has somehow helped you in understanding the concept. If you have questions, if you have other topics that you want me to focus on, please let me know down below. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Consider subscribing to the channel. Also, share it with your friends, colleagues, classmates. Share it with those who really need to build confidence in discussions, whether discussions at work, whether discussions in class, things like that. All right. So, yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for everything. I wish you a wonderful day, and I will be looking forward to having you on the upcoming episode. Have a great day and take care. Bye bye.